How you doing, sir? How can I help you?
Just fine. So Dundalktv, just reporting on what's going on. That's all.
You're standing in a place that you can't be, though.
Okay.
So we'll just move you out here, okay?
Sure.
I'm cool with you recording it. I just can't have you in here. Hey, how do we get him to a place where he can stand by and record? Because he can't go through here, right?
He can go up the sidewalk.
Okay. So if you can just stick to the sidewalk over here and just you'll be fine over here. But I just can't have you over here or anywhere in the car.
Not a problem. I want to work along. I don't want to work against.
I know you are. I've seen you before.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
So what happened with you and the officer?
So,
Sir.
I'm sorry. I thought that's what you wanted me to do.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I must
Okay.
have explained it wrong.
No, I misunderstood. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's okay. I know you're not trying to.
Okay.
So you just stay over here on this side of the tape because what this is a line of evidence. So
Okay.
I can't have you crossing that line.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to if that's the case. I didn't want to.
you're
I was going to
good,
hope
right?
to go up the alley, but it doesn't look like I can get there, so it's
Unless
okay.
you go that way.
Okay.
The way you came, you can go around the houses that way, come up the alley, and you'll be on the other side.
Okay.
So those are really the only options I can give you.
Okay, but that's fine. I wasn't trying to
No,
ask
I
any
know you're not.
information.
I know you're not. I know that you're trying to cooperate. I'm not.
Yes.
I hope I'm not coming across as like
No,
yelling at you. I'm just trying to help you out.
No, I was actually surprised to see all the brass here, so I know something else is going on. So, so thank you.
No problem at all.
I will ask one question. Do you know if they have a spokesperson here anytime?
There might be. I think that's.
Okay, good. I want to hang out then. Thank you very much.
There's a stage here. He's over at the.
There's a media stage here.
I think so.
Okay.
Everybody good.
A short while ago, I heard a lot of sirens from emergency equipment going by, and just a minute ago when I had a shot to see up the road in the Turner Station community, I saw that there was a police car with its lights flashing, and a gentleman that I had talked to as I was walking down the road had told me that there was a whole lot of emergency equipment. There was a lot of emergency equipment here, so I'm going to head up here and see what's going on. There was a person that was shot up here not too long ago, right on this street, and I was trying to get some information on that, but hadn't heard back from one of my contacts in the area. But don't know if this is related or not. It looks like it's pretty close to the same house. Okay, so there's one of the cars there, and then there's another one blocking one's blocking going down the one road, then the other one's blocking off traffic coming from Burning Highway. It appears it's a little ways away, but that's what it looks like. Oh, wait a second. Here's action down here. This is where all the fire trucks are at. So don't see any smoke, don't smell any smoke, but the fire department's definitely checking something out. Go out and see if anybody can share a little information with us. Well, they have it roped off. Oh, the reason I didn't see any smoke or smell smoke is because they already took care of it. Good work. Now I can smell the smokiness a little bit. So they had a whole lot of fire engines and emergency equipment rolling down the road. Looks like they got here pretty daggone quickly to get it extinguished. Unfortunately, there has been some damage done. Hopefully no one was hurt. So something else is actually going on here. They have a lot of detectives and everything, so I could speculate, but it wouldn't be right to do that. So they have a police spokesman that's supposed to be over at the Solars Point Multi-Purpose Center, so that's where I'm heading after I check out down the alley here. I don't know if I'll see anything or not, but we should be able to get this full story. No, they have that blocked off, can't get there. So I'm heading to the Multi-Purpose Center.
I don't know how early this supposedly happened.
So
maybe they have cleared the.
So can I get an interview with you? Can I get an interview with you?
No, what am I going to interview about?
You can tell me what you heard.
I just heard there was a shooting and a fire.
A shooting and a fire. Okay.
But not
Well,
the same location, but pretty adjacent to each other.
Mhm.
Because see, that's the store right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fire's right there.
Yep, that's the store right there. So, well, the police officer said that that was a area that they were protecting because it was a crime scene. So, so I see some.
So that was true that there was.
It's possible. So I guess they're getting ready to make their statement now. All the news crews are going this way, so we're following them.
Just before 9 a.m. we received a call with the fire department for a dwelling fire with the necessary rescue, at least one person inside the house. Our officers responded along with the fire department. When our officers arrived, they went inside the house when they could observe that there were at least one person inside the house according to the call. Our officers went inside the house. They did encounter a person who was refusing to leave. At some point there was an altercation between one of the officers that was inside the house and this person inside the house. While that altercation was going on, the officer's service weapon did discharge and strike the person inside the house in their mid-body. This person has been transported to a local hospital. 2 officers were inside the house. Like I said, one of the officers that was inside that had the altercation with the man inside the house was transported to a local hospital also, where he's being treated for smoke inhalation.
Was the discharge of the weapon intentional?
We're trying to investigate right now. We're going to speak to the officer eventually, and we're talking to witnesses to determine what led up to the officer's weapon being discharged.
Do you know what caused the fire?
We're not sure. We're looking into the cause and the origin of the fire. We work with the fire department. We have an investigative unit, our fire investigators, our police officers who work side by side with the fire department officials to determine what was the source of the fire. The man that was inside the house has been transported to a local hospital. One of the things that we'll look at to see is if there's a need for a mental health evaluation. Based on the information that we were gained, there was one other woman in the there was a woman in the house also. I'm not sure what the extent of her injuries are right now.
She got out?
She did. She was out of the house, yes. It was a working fire inside the house. I'm not sure the extent of the fire. Fire department officials would have to speak as to the extent of the fire, the amount of personnel that came, and how long the fire lasted, and how that fire was extinguished. It's my understanding it doesn't stay there pretty quickly. There were 2 people inside of the home, a man and a woman. We received a call from inside the house. The call was for a dwelling fire with a rescue necessary. When our officer went inside the house, he did encounter the man inside the house who was refusing to leave. The officer attempted to get this man out of the house several times. There was an altercation between the officer and the man at that point where the officer's weapon discharged.
Their relationship with the man?
I'm not sure about the relationship between the man and the woman inside the house.
Do you know the condition of the man? The man
Um,
was reported to the hospital?
It's my understanding everyone suffered non-life-threatening injuries. One of the things we're going to look at is the need for mental health evaluation also.
Was the man trying to put the fire out, or why wouldn't he leave?
We're not sure why exactly he would leave. The information that I have right now is that he was not attempting to put the fire out. He just was not leaving the house. Our officers, the 2 officers that were inside the house, were attempting to get him out of the house, trying to do everything they could do. I'm not sure what led up to the discharge of the weapon, but this is what our investigators, our detectives that are out here are going to try to determine. We're going to need to interview the officers eventually and see what exactly happened.
And they both lived there. That was their home?
I believe so, but both the people that were inside was their residence.
So was the officer by any chance wearing a body camera? You know?
I believe the officer, at least one of the officers that were inside did have body camera footage. That'll be something that we would look at as a part of our investigation.
You know the origin of the fire?
Right now, our fire investigators are trying to determine the cause and the origin of the fire.
Was the man combative when your officer showed up?
The man was combative the entire time. When our officers showed up, they were attempting to ask him to leave. He was refusing to leave. The officers were intaking smoke. At that point, they knew they had to get out of the house and wanted to get everyone who was inside out, and the man was refusing to leave at that point. The one officer, he is being treated for smoke inhalation. There was a second officer that was inside. We're not sure right now what the extent of her injuries are, but at this point, she has not sought medical treatment right now.
And the man eventually came out. Did he run out? Because he had to be transported to the hospital. How did that happen?
So we're trying to determine what exactly happened, if the man ran out or if the officer assisted the man up to the corner of Pine Street and Solars. Medical personnel actually treated the man here on the corner at Pine Street and Solars. So one of the things that we're looking into is to speak to neighbors to see if the man ran out or did the officer actually carry this man out this far.
When the weapon went off, was the man struck?
The man was struck. He was struck to the mid-body one time. It's our understanding right now nobody suffered any life-threatening injuries.
If everyone else is finished, I'd just like to say the police and the fire department did a great job. I was here shortly after this happened, and they had everything under control.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
So every marker that they have here is indicating blood. So, and it goes from down the street there, all the way here, goes up the sidewalk there, and then I'm across the street now. It goes up to that yellow box, and that's where I was told that the paramedics had picked the gentleman up, which makes great sense from what we just heard from the police spokesman. So, unfortunately, these incidents are occurring much too often in the community. Grew up in Dundalk. Dundalk is a great place to live. Unfortunately, there are elements that are moving into our community now that are changing it, not for the better. And we need people that are going to stand up for the community and turn it around to where it was, and even make it better than before.